Hey everyone, Krazyed here, and I just wanted to explain one of the ways that I make extra currency on the side. This is just something I do along with maybe a chaos recipe every now and then just farming for currency, selling items on PoE trade and whatnot. I pick up every jewel I find, and I always at least augment the jewels unless they are complete garbage. And then the good thing about jewels is they don't really have a level requirement at all. You can just sell 3 jewels, 3 blue jewels, and then you get another jewel of that kind, or 5, I should say, 5. Sorry. So we pick up every jewel, just ID them all in batch, and say we get like one like this, where we have 2 good rolls. I can probably sell this for a chaos or 2 and let someone else regal it. I don't exalt or regal anything myself for the most part. You can, spending an alt on a jewel is just like finding another jewel on the ground. You might as well just use an aug on it if it's got 1 roll, if it's a blue, and just go about your day, sell it, flip it. So we're going to go through these and see what we get. Now I've already gone through several, and these are the kind of jewels that you don't necessarily want. Block chance for spells with shields is pretty much a garbage roll, and damage over time is really good if it's combined with like area damage, because then like a poison arrow, it would be a good jewel for them. Maybe they'd want to buy it for 2 or 3 chaos and regal it, trying to get increased chaos damage or just increased damage, or there's a lot of different damages that you can get with a poison arrow build, or maybe life. Same thing with this one. 17% increased armor and fire and cold resistances. Nothing good on that. This one is increased critical chance with lightning skills and then increased freeze duration. Now if this would have been increased critical chance with elemental skills, which is a roll that it can get, or increased critical chance with cold skills, this probably would have been a 2 or 3 or 5 chaos jewel. But because these 2 rolls are contradictory, not too good. Actually, you know what? This is really good for Mathel's Wind Ripper build that I have, because it's lightning arrow. So I may just roll this one and see what happens. But physical damage with wands and cast speed, you don't. Those 2 are contradictory. So we'll kind of go through and we'll see what we get. So this one is cast speed, so that's a keeper. I'm going to put all the ones that fail over here. If they're worth something, I'll keep them over on this side, and this side is probably going to grow, or shrink, I should say, as we go. So this one is an interesting one. It's melee critical strike, increased armor, and then damage leeches life. This one's actually bad, because it has life leech, which is good, and then melee critical strike, but then it has mana cost of skills, which is garbage, and then increased armor, which isn't. Someone who's melee critical strike isn't really going to care about armor or to reduce mana cost, so it's no better than a blue one that they could probably get for a chaos and regal. So we're going to say it's trash. Increased global critical strike chance. So this is one we're going to aug and see if we can get something. Block spells with shields. Poop. Okay, so increased cast speed while dual wielding, and not that great. Could be a lot better. Projectile speed, mind laying speed. So this one's just junk. Mind damage, increased lightning damage. No one uses lightning mines. Everyone uses blade fall mines. So see, we've already got 2 jewels that are keepers and totem life. You know what? I'm gonna aug it just to see if we get fire damage or something. Totems gain 8 to all elemental resistances. That's garbage, because totems are immune to elemental resistances because of the chieftain. Totem damage. This is good. All right. And then the other 2 kind of fall flat on their face. Start of energy shield recharge. If that would have been max energy shield, this may have been worth a chaos. But it's not. 15 dexterity. I probably shouldn't aug it, but I'm going to anyway. Damage while wielding a staff. Let's say it's trash. 1% additional chance to block shields while block spells with shields or while dual wielding, mind damage, and attack speed. That's all over the place. And you'll get a lot of jewels that are all over the place with these. Attack damage leeches mana. Okay. Shock duration on enemies. Interesting. I'm going to put that one down here. Increased stun duration on enemies. That one's just going over here. Increased evasion rating and fire resistance. That's going over there. Chance to block spells or shields. Projectile speed. Going over here. Fire damage. Global crit. Okay, I'm liking this. Chaos resistance. Mind laying speed. Boo. Increased armor and cold resistance. Totem damage and int. Probably, you know what? I'll put it over here and try to sell it for a chaos. And if I don't, then I'll sell it on the next batch. Increased physical damage with axes and lightning resistance. That's something that those are two just very common rolls. If this was like melee physical damage, then for 15%, I might be able to sell this for like an alch or a fusing or something. But because it's specifically axes, and axes aren't very popular, then I probably can't get rid of it. 8 to all attributes, attack speed with axes. Again, it's that axes now, it's a lot of attack speed. 8% is a lot. Evasion and then global critical strike. You know what? I'm going to try to sell this one for like a chaos or two. Just because there might be some dual wielding insane clown posse axe guy out there that will think, hey, evasion, nice bonus. Okay. 8 to all attributes. Hey, I do got the concentrated effect gem. Attack speed with axes, and hey, I'm a crit axe or something. I don't know. Like I said, a chaos or two. I've got one slot. Totem life and 12 int. Going over here. Attack speed with daggers. Melee critical strike. See, this is the kind of thing that's probably worth like 2 to 3 chaos right there, because daggers always use critical strike, and 6% increased critical strike is a very high roll for one slot. They can still regal it and maybe get like melee physical or damage over time or increased damage or increased area damage. There's so many things that you could regal, so this is probably worth at least 2 to 3 chaos. Okay, physical damage with wands. Attack speed with wands. Okay, you've got my attention. You go over here for a chaos or two. Increased attack speed with axes. Once again, I think I'm going to put this one over here for a chaos. Increased physical damage with swords, freeze duration on enemies, and area damage. So, if you're a sword build, you're probably going to go either lacerate or, I don't recall if you can do earthquake with swords, but no one really does that. I don't even think you can. You can do... This isn't very good. There's no area damage. Reeve is area damage. I'm gonna put it over here. Attack speed with wands. Again, I think I'm gonna augment this one. Increased critical strike chance with elemental skills. Interesting. So I'm gonna do that. Put it over here. It's just not good enough, I don't think. I can't think of any builds off the top of my head. There's not really any cast on crit wanders, even though like cast on crit Frost Wall, Kinetic Blast would be really good. I mean, you're critting with the spells maybe. Cast speed while wielding a staff, reduce mana cost of skills, garbage. Totem life, resistance is garbage. Weapon critical strike multiplier while dual wielding, okay. Mana regeneration rate, increased shock duration on enemies, that's garbage. Critical strike chance with lightning skills, okay. Max life, alright. Ignite duration, man. You know what? I'll put this one over here for chaos just to see if it sells because it's got life on it. 1% chance to block with shields and area damage. Oh, I'm sorry. An area damage? This is an earthquake. This one's probably 2 to 3 chaos. Increased attack speed with two-handed melee weapons, 12% critical strike multiplier, and physical attack damage leeches life. Yeah, this one, This is pretty good. I'll take that one. Alright. Ooh. Increased weapon critical strike chance while dual wielding. You know what? We're gonna aug this one. If we get wands or daggers or something. Oh, really? Mana cost of skills? Garbage. $7 attributes, attack speed with bows. You know what? That one's maybe a fusing or something. Lightning and cold resistances. I'm just not even gonna waste an aug on that one. Physical damage with claws. God, there's no claw builds out there. Accuracy rating, global critical strike chance. Hey, that was a good augment. Increased fire damage. Okay, we can get a lot from this jewel. We can get life. We can get totem life. We can get projectile damage. Oh. Increased physical damage with axes. 5% chance to knock enemies back. Yeah, no. So, this one, fire damage and projectile damage, on the Crimson Jewel. Projectile damage is, you can roll it. I had a really low percent chance to roll that projectile damage on there because it's weighted more towards a green Viridian gem. You can roll some things on any gem, like increased physical damage I think you can roll on any gem, or increased damage you can roll on any gem, increased stats or increased resistances, any gem. But things like energy shield gained on hit pretty much only get rolled on a Cobalt Jewel. Increased maximum life can be rolled on any jewel, but it's weighted heavily towards the Crimson Jewel. Increased evasion, I think, can only be rolled on a Viridian Jewel. So you're getting some things that, you know, no matter what level you are, you can roll almost anything on a jewel. Energy shield gain for each enemy hit by your attacks. This is actually an amazing thing to roll. It's very rare. 8 critical strike chance for lightning skills. This is actually, I'll probably try to sell that one for at least a fusing or two, just because of the +3 energy shield gained for each enemy hit. Energy shield gained on hit is underrated for a jewel slot. I'll tell you that, because it gives you stun immunity. If you have even 1 energy shield point left, you automatically have 50% stun immunity when you're hit. So if you're like a cast on crit build and you have that on your barrage, then your barrage hits and you gain 3 energy shields, you get hit by any hit, and you don't necessarily have that 6-7k life of a marauder because you're a shadow or a witch. Then you have that 50% stun immunity by default because it might hit the energy shield versus your life pool, and energy shield can't stun you. Minions have 10% maximum life, block and stun recovery. I'm going to sell that one for like a fusing just because it has minion life on it. Mind laying speed, attack speed. Okay, those are contradictory. Okay, last one. 14 increased percent weapon damage, increased attack speed while dual wielding. Okay, global critical strike chance, melee critical strike chance. What? This thing is stupid. Stupid good. It's everything you want in a jewel. That's the jackpot right there, boys. So that's how I make money, or I've made money. I will just throw these into my sell bin, and the rest of these sell items. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get a free blue one. Except, let's see what we get. Attack speed with 2 melee weapons, area damage, boom. I'm sorry, are you a 2-hander earthquake? So we just turned 5 garbage jewels into probably 2 chaos. That was awesome. So that's how this works. I'm gonna go sell my jewels and run some maps, and I hope everyone has a great night. Thanks for watching.